Je Chodan Doje Drama Shanja Bada Dan Ake Chiche Jebe Sama Tala Benjo Sanje Drama Sanje Chodan Doje Drama Shanja Bada Dan Chiche Jebe Sama Lola Benjo Sanje Drama Je Jordan Zoje Jano Shanja Bhakti Lage Chichi Jebe San Ola Benja Sanje Rupa. Okay. Good evening again. Good evening, Bim. Okay. 어쨌든 드리가는 온도 잠티 되는 온도 동반이 돼서 공부한다. 저도 가서 남주도 말아가지. 네. 오만이 걸어서 공부해 잡수와.
So today we're going to meditate a little bit on emptiness.
딱 동반이 공부하거나 소소라 zuda trurja kanje ombonga kare nawa kare kode nawa ta me ndiga something tikana ta shane dena because
When you meditate on emptiness, if you can just place your mind on the thought and the thinking that whatever you see with your eyes, whatever you hear with your ears, whatever you with all the other senses you experience, they don't exist in a way they appear. If you just place your mind on that thought, then that will be meditating on emptiness.
yamna tenesi chitse yamana ane soso chitse da ba soso chitse tsene kam manyewa tarang kan samtana to mani
Or you can just search yourself, and when you don't find it, and then placing your mind on not finding yourself upon searching, that also would be meditating on emptiness.
Okay, either you like, okay, we start like maybe 10 minutes, okay? But today is very quiet, no airplanes here. Okay? Start now. Okay. I think this enough. How's it? Jadi namanya Tuhan yang kau kabel ya. Jadi jenis ya sama. Yang boleh usah kasih syarat mana ko. Tanda kan so, nanti yang baru sama yang so, nyuat kau marwa. Mana yang dogum na kona koro cipta. Jadi baru tu yang sarwa.
So, so if you meditate on emptiness in this way, of course, at the beginning you won't get any experience or any realization, but if you keep on meditating on emptiness like this in this way, then eventually, after some time, I think it you will gain some experience.
제가 nanti soso noa na jitu yo mare na sambi kabla ya tangi nanti samgo re nanti ji chego re samadhi ko tanang tene no samgo ro.
Right now, we're thinking that things do not exist in a way they appear to us, and another mind, there's another mind thinking that this is how I'm supposed to think, like that.
에다 다 tene uduna tingela ngamso yamna tendega namja. Yamna ju soso ta ambo ji che tende tene tene pape tenju kola samachita.
And so, yeah, so at the beginning, we only have this kind of thought, right? So I have to force, to have their own thought. In order to get used to that thought of thinking, things do not exist in a way they appear to us. it is good to contemplate on the dependent origination, like dependent origination of law of cause and effect, and then dependent origination of how things are existing by being imputed by mind.
아니 야 되네 번에 아무나 지 소소라고 다치지 소소 체치 당말아야 이신들의 제니퍼 버블이나 소소소 아 제니퍼 인스 니체다 제니퍼 사이드 인고들 낳고도 강보들 낳고도 조건하다 보나 가와 소소소 니데네 체더와
And then also search about about oneself, search oneself. So like if you say I'm Jennifer, then which is Jennifer? I'm called Jennifer, but which part of me is Jennifer? Is it the head? Is it the body? Is it the hand? Is it the leg? So you search for Jennifer in that way.
오 진짜 단 문에 봐 찾아도 문에 진냐면도 그 또배 따참시 그미 따서면 문도 와서 문에 봐 찾아 주는 얘기문도 와서 되게 용어지 되다 와이나
When you search for it, you will not find. It is merely imputed. Jennifer is just merely imputed, and you cannot find upon searching. So if you can gain that experience,
근데지 다 때문에 뭐지 아 sometimes 받치고라 오신 도지 진도 없는 도지서 단데레시 하서요나 뭐다 나데 셈드레샤 능에 레바드레샤 드리지 삼사일나 아니 pompanía es corta tan riloma.
So or if you think that so yes, I think my mind is me, me, or my body is me, or my brain is me, like that. Then that way of searching, you or I, is not correct.
얘다 오마 라지바 메주데 참에 야무나 오파체바나 이지 납시레샤스 아무나 pompon가 소탄데레샤스 야무나 구제레샤스 그래서 두제 제제 진행이 왔다 근데 꼭 강사되는데 우사시
So below the Pasanggaya Madhyamika school, they all say that the I can be found upon searching. Right? So when you keep on searching, and then after some time you say, oh yeah, it is the mental consciousness that is the I. Or some says it is the mind basis of all, or some says it's the five aggregate and so forth. So when when they search for the I, they should be able to find, and according to the schools below Pasanggaya Madhyamika.
아 오마 타이블을 봐서는 pompon가 소탄데레시 pompon가 소탄디 kana ngasi 마니 봤다 잡았던데 근데 그런 건데 저거시키면 되었어.
And then in the Pasanggaya Madhyamika, it says that the I is a mere imputation upon the aggregates, upon the collection of five aggregates.
오, 이제 되게 그것도 저 엄마를 진짜 그냥 됐다와. 엄마를 머리 진짜 왔던데도. 저 삼에 처마에 매매 르메 나감 남시 마에 까만나 저 감로 되비셔스. 제가 저한테 사체 메르도 말해서 다 콘토다 되도록.
So in the Precious Garden, Nagarjuna said, so this is the the source to prove that the person cannot be found when searching, or there's no solid person. And that's there he says, the person is not the earth, or it's not a space, and then it's not the aggregate and so forth. So that a quotation or the source, the text from by Nagarjuna proves that there's no I that can be found upon searching.
또 전에 봤잖아요. 단도 samana 단대 문에 사만이도 춘 싸우는 멘트 단 문에 내도 문에 오베 따서면서 단 딜 로삼도 문에 되게 용어지 되다 와이나 대파지 땡 오셔와이나 아니 주 상말 밑에 제시 되네 지 소소를 자다 이해가리나 네 자지 춘로 요pen 것으로 봐.
And so, so like that, just like it is explained in the Prasanggaya Madhyamika's view, that I is not something that you can find upon searching. It's a mere imputation on the collection of aggregates. So if you keep on thinking that way. It's merely impure. It's merely impure. It's merely impure like that. On the person, and then eventually you will gain some experience. Then when you gain that experience on the person, then you can move it onto the phenomena. And then when you gain that kind of experience on other phenomena, then there will be no like strong attachment for the friends or strong hatred for enemies.
예, 어떤에 단 용거다. 다 도만이 검사들이 검고, 도만이 검사는 두시 검고.
And so that's how you should meditate on emptiness.
오케이? 그러나 먼저 잘하러 너 전에 진도 요새 제 많이는 다 문제도 다 치야죠. 어디서 나오지?
So like the thing that you're looking for, right? So say you lost a key or something, right? And you're looking at a place where there's no key. Upon searching in the entire time, you will not find the key. So, yeah, there's no key. So that kind of experience.
예? 제가 요 말을 말씀하지. 소소 싸만지 요 말에 소소 노만지 요 말. 디퍼 치워지 되시고.
So you should not think that it doesn't exist. You just have to think that it doesn't exist in a way it appears. That's the difference.
요 말도는 되는 거 제대로 그래.
If you say it doesn't exist at all, then you're falling into the nihilism.
단위도 열어봐.
It exists. Nominally, it exists. Right?
예? 어디서 또 많이 공들인다. 근데 되는다고 나쁘게 답대고도 공자는 오늘 잠들이 이러도.
This is a very good time to meditate on today, right? It's very quiet.
오케이, 딱 가서 나도 가로. When we start last week?
If we were on section 5, page 22.
Yeah, I think section 5, yeah. So
we already talked about the valid right perceiver, right? And now I think it's turned for valid inferential cognizance.
Oh, phone, wake up.
Late, sorry.
Yeah. And the running at the Medusa, the Tanjo Tomomo Shitachibachi, and the Tante, and Tanjo Shitachibachi, all money Kashirwa.
And so, not asserting the self-cognizer is one of the uncommon assertion of the unique assertion of Savigamadamiga, and there's also a few more.
There are Jense Kashirwa. And the Omas running Dongis or running said the Patsena, and the Shibazade, Sena, Kuning Shibaji, or still a running labores, and they shut a chick, and the Amanash. So the
lower schools, they say there is a self-cognizer, and because there is a mind, that exists from its one side or exists inherently, that cognizes other mind, and also there's some say that if there's no self-cognizer, then there'll be no remembering. Or there's no memory, so you can't remember. There's no self-cognizer.
Yes, Pesha showed you the teacher and Dawachataman new goddess. She got running you at the temperature. She got running never the temperature to us. Pena, Gunkap, and a Semjakashi saw all in Native Kablaya. And they call a Duchin, Sojavina. A Kutonga Yala, and Duke Kaja Kusho Temekabla, and then now Kablaya. And he Miguel Nedevicala Sojavat go Haku Mare, that the Rari Mandulet, Matangulena. Ika could Nedevicala could took Javach Haku Marda in Bainaya. Sanya Sayu Kalaya, Alenga Sojavic Kablaya Kunga Tulus and the September Yangues. 제가 안에 라리 고운 말했어. 라리 맨날 좀 제도 그랬어. 다 라리 동에서 그 라리 매와야나 아니면 소재가 가능한 두개가 살아서 그 템버 제도 말했어. 내가 제가 말하니래요.
They both have their own explanation about asserting or not asserting the self-cognizer. Like Pasangha Mathematical School, says because there's no self-cognizer, therefore you can remember. And and then other schools says because there is self-cognizer, therefore you can remember. They both gives the reason, but for not remember, one gives a reason. Because there is self-cognizer, therefore you can remember, and the other is because there's no self-cognizer, therefore you can remember. And like the example of the Prasangika Madhyamika is like a bear when it goes into a hibernation during the winter time, right? So it doesn't have any memory; it's all completely sleeping, and a snake or mouse, bites it, and then it doesn't feel anything at that time. But later, it says that when there is a thunder in the sky, and when that in the springtime, when they wake up, then they realize that there must have that it must be bitten. They feel the pain, and it must be bitten by a snake or by a mouse, and and so Prasangha Madhyamika is saying that because they don't have that self-cognizer, therefore they can remember later. Oh, maybe it must be that, and then the lower school says because they have self-cognizer, therefore they can remember.
다 다니어야 신다질이야. 나 본드 미시 따고 본바한테 샤워를. 본바한테 본드 미시 따고 뭐 군이 땐데 주랬어.
Then another one is about Prasangha Madhyamika is that like the eye consciousness apprehending the vase comes from the vase, and then the vase comes from the eye consciousness that apprehends the vase. So the vase and the eye consciousness apprehending the vase are depending on each other.
와라들라도 간지 단지 투모만 백간에 제사요. 단서 쇼모 거지. 나를 모두 왔다 간에 지이라 그래.
So the like 8 unique assertions of the Prasangha Madhyamika school, and one of the I don't think we have to go through all of them, but one of the unique assertions is that not asserting the self-cognizer.
아 sem신지지 원시에는 투시에 자그래서.
Then another assertion is that if it is the sense consciousness of the sentient being, then it is necessarily mistaken.
예? 제가 아는 투시에다 처만이가 이게 그런 거다 간다.
And so therefore the Prasangha Madhyamika school is saying that there is the value cognizer, that is also mistaken.
투시에다 아는 처만이가 신도 그런 거로.
There's a common logos, of a mistaken consciousness and the value cognizer.
예? 투시에서다 랑가 나와를 쳐대와 투시라 그래.
It is mistaken because it is mistaken to its appearance.
아 간도 원시 차선 세마야를 투시오래라 그래.
So according to the Prasangha Madhyamika school, all our sense consciousness are value cognizer and also mistaken consciousness.
상암을 대마르는 게 그랬어. 미시 본드 미실라 대마르는 그랬어.
Because all the object of the eye consciousness, I mean the sense consciousness, appears as existing truly. So like the vase that appears to the eye consciousness appears as existing truly.
그래서 땡거는 나오죠. 아무도 파트에는 통과한다고 잘한다고 서로 강한 나와 더 하잖아. 집에서는 여기서는 오지. 나도 한개 봐.
It's really true. Like when you go into a grocery store or a shopping mall, and then you see all these things. So all these things that appear to you, and then you really think they exist just like they appear to you. You think like that, exactly like how they appear to you.
아 얘나 제 말에 강가 또 요래. 애플 오렌지 테메 강가 요도.
It's a value cognizer because it sees what it is. The eye consciousness sees the tomato, that's the tomato, and it sees the apple, that's apple, and because you can buy, the apple, you can take home and you can buy the tomato and take home. So that's therefore whatever the eye consciousness seeing, it is valid cognizance. Then another unique assertion is that saying that it is a direct perceiver as well as conceptual consciousness.
It started. And that particular much about it, and that Japan. I say, Nansuyana, and the Nanji, Nanjana, and the Talamata talk over it. And the Nanjung Esena, and the Nanjung Esena, yes, Michael is. What she was.
It says they do not that's the part, right? And mind consciousness and yogic direct perceiver can be mistaken or non-mistaken. This is valid direct perceiver are not provided by being directly perceivable, because yogic direct perception is necessarily not directly perceivable. This is because being directly perceivable is mutually inclusive with the manifest phenomena. So if it is directly perceivable, it has to be manifest phenomena. So, so the directly perceivable is mutually inclusive with the manifest of phenomena, and as a subsequent cognizer are provided by a valid direct perceiver. If it is a subsequent cognizer, is it necessary to be a direct perceiver, a valid direct perceiver?
So
It says here.
Yeah.
So what about the second moment of the yogic direct perceiver within the continuum of Arya Bodhisattva? A second moment of yogic direct perceiver within the continuum of Arya Bodhisattva. Is it a valid direct perceiver? Somebody else. It cannot be a valid direct perceiver because it is a yogic direct perceiver. Second moment of the yogic direct perceiver. It's a yogic direct perceiver? It is not a valid direct perceiver, right?
Valid direct perceiver.
Not a direct perceiver.
Yes. The second moment it's still.
Second moment of yogic direct perceiver. 나중 무슨 들어?
나중에 귀신이 받대.
나중 무슨 기준이야?
제시를 was.
So 하나라도 나중 무슨 말이?
나중에서는 해서 많이 골라도 가더라 나중에서 옛날에서 많이 그러셨대. 내서 이제 대지 임비셔스.
So it says at the earlier, right?
Are you talking about a yogic direct? You said Arya, so
yeah. So yogic direct perceiver.
But in meditative equipoise, realizing emptiness.
Don't you know what?
You said Arya.
Yes.
Yes, it's definitely.
It's what? Which one?
Definitely a valid direct perceiver.
What's the rest?
아무도 제시임이셔.
나중
나중에 일하러 와. 나중에서 많이 받아.
맞아. 무슨 상 많이 받아?
내가 더 많이 받아. 나중에서 임비셨어.
So can you have a valid subsequent procedure? Yes.
You have to look at the text, okay? You have to follow the text, okay?
So here it says, right? Direct perceivable, because yogic direct perceivable perception is necessarily not direct perceivable, right?
It's saying that
얘도 테마 ing에 얘에서 많이 얘때 나중에서 작도 아니나. 얘도 테마 얘에서 맞잡대 나중에서는 얘에서 많이 급실랍도 배나.
나중 무슨 많이 원 셈만 많이 먼저 답니다. 저는 무슨 셈 많이 살아라.
얘다 얘에서 있는 말. 제시에는 얘도 테마 많이 급실었어. 제가 얘도 테마 말해야지.
무슨 말이었어?
얘도 테마 많이 받은 나중에서 임비셨어.
잠깐만요. 오늘
여기다 나중에 되는 게 세번 많이 그러셔.
말고 말다. 무슨 말 거서 말. 무슨 말 거서 말. 무슨 말 거랬어. 무슨 말 말했어.
그래. 무슨 말이지?
얘는 무슨 세월했어.
Is not pervaded by being directly perceivable, which is mutually inclusive with manifest object, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that it's not a direct perceiver.
오야. 다 그래야. 무슨 말이지?
Yeah, so so Geshe's question was what? If it is the second moment of yogic direct perceiver valid direct perceiver? And you say yes, right?
Well, I think Geshe specified a yogic to direct perceiver.
Perceiver within the continuum of Arya Bodhisattva, right?
Yeah.
So it's the second moment of the yogic direct perceiver within the continuum of Arya Bodhisattva. Is that a valid direct perceiver? Is that a direct perceiver?
Yes.
Is that direct perceiver? So it is direct perceiver, right? So you are saying that Geshe said, how can it be direct perceiver? Because it's a yogic direct perceiver. And it says here, yogic direct perceiver is necessarily not directly perceivable.
But it doesn't say it's not a direct perceiver, it just says it's not directly perceivable. Because the meaning is not a manifest object, that it's not perceivable by all sentient beings, but it is perceivable by the Arya Bodhisattva.
Arya Bodhisattva, yeah, it is. So
잠깐만 무슨
무슨 미쳐봐. 심지어 무슨 거 말아. 잘 서로 무슨
야,
무슨 사진을 무슨 거 말아.
저는 이제 토마토에다 떨어뜨린 똑같더라. 네.
So if it is a directly perceivable for Arya Bodhisattva, is it direct perceivable or not?
The Arya Bodhisattva.
It is viable. Yeah, if it is the food for you, it's a food, right?
야, 되잖아. 나중에도 지금 이제 받아.
It's food for my dog, it's food, but it's
It's exactly not food for you, but it's food.
It's food.
Yes, that's what it is. So it is a direct perceivable because it's a direct perceivable for the higher beings. Therefore, it is a direct perceivable. It doesn't have to be direct perceivable for the sentient beings, but it's a direct perceivable for higher beings, right? But it says here, so if it's a direct perceivable, if it's a yogic direct perception, then it's necessarily not. Means it should not be, right? Necessarily not means it should not be directly perceivable.
It's directly perceivable in
무슨
being
말이야?
synonymous with manifest object.
나중에 무슨 말이야?
야, 나중에 때
무슨 말이야?
세만 있어. 무슨 말이지?
무슨 말이 된다 말이야?
무슨 말인 건지 모르겠어.
Oh, okay, yeah.
무슨 건지 되지. 먼저 많이 전화는 이제 토마토에다 떨어뜨린 똑같아. 마테마 똑똑한 많이 미쳤어. 먼저 했나? 전통 남지 돈이 마테마 강사가 토마토에다 따라 마테마 똑고 그랬어.
문제이나?
먼저 했나?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, it says, because the next sentence, it says being directly perceivable is mutually inclusive with being a manifest object.
Yes.
But only a manifest object can be
Directly perceivable.
perceivable.
Is a mental consciousness a direct perceiver?
시바데.
이게 시작해.
그래서
나 무슨 말을 해서 그래? Mental consciousness. How can that be a direct perceivable?
How do you realize emptiness? You don't use your eyes, your ears, your tongue, your nose.
No, directly perceivable means manifest, right? So like this is a directly perceivable. You can see it with your eye. You know? For mind, you can't see it.
You see emptiness?
There's a difference. There's a difference between a direct perceiver
So
and
that's-
directly
yeah.
perceivable.
Hmm?
Is there not there's a distinction between direct perceiver and directly perceivable?
그랬어요.
근데
무슨 건지 무슨 테마당에서 가 있어.
이만 됐어.
뭐래?
나 무슨 나오다 무슨 있어. 제가 그러네. 무슨 독토하다 무슨 시간. So it's like saying, direct perception,
What hit
and
him?
it's like being able to perceive directly.
Only changing.
Directly perceivable means being able to perceive directly, right? And direct perception means that's the same thing.
Teaching also in Bata.
So in the text, what it's saying is that the yogic direct perceiver, is a valid direct perceiver, but it's not direct perceiver. That's what it's saying. So that's the difference. And if it's a directly perceivable, then it has to be manifest object. If it's a manifest object, then it has to be able to cognize by the ordinary beings without depending on reasoning.
What about the deepest meditation? Like close your eyes, right? And let's say I see a Buddha. Nobody else in this room sees it, only me. But I only see it, I don't see it with my eyes. So it's conceptual consciousness, right? So, but at some point, everything you read is that at some point your meditation can be direct. How is that? If mental can't be direct, how can meditation ever be direct valid? It's contradictory.
The Lodi, that was saying what else? Ikishabadi, Ishidi, was saying what else?
아이, 이 시바는 로도와 그 노도체로와 무슨 옛나 이 가로 이 시바 옛날 무슨 많이 맞아 이 시바 그런 무슨 많이 있어.
So the mental consciousness itself is not a directly perceivable, but if it is a mental, if it is a mental consciousness, and if it is a mental consciousness, so you see that, right? So if it is a mental consciousness, then it is not necessarily. It's not necessarily not directly perceivable. So that means there can be a mental, a kind of mental consciousness that can be a directly perceivable. Is human being a male? Is human being a male?
Well, man is a human being.
Man is a human being, but is human being a male?
No, it could be a woman.
Exactly.
So
like that, mental consciousnness is like a general.
Okay.
So if you say mental consciousness, then it can be, direct perceivable. It cannot be, like just like human can be, man and female, male and female, right?
Okay, 다들면 제법 그러고 단juk 그걸로 도마다 뭐 요래.
나좀 교수님한테 가르쳤어.
나중에 교수님한테 제시에는
밥을 줘 나좀 교수님한테.
아니 무슨 많이 있어. tema is 무슨 많이 나고 다들.
무슨 많이 있어.
Yeah.
So what's the conclusion on that? The second moment of the yogic direct perceiver in the continuum area bodhisattva, is it directly is it direct valid and a valid direct perceiver?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, it is. It has to be. It is a valid direct perceiver, but it's not a direct perceiver. If it is a valid consciousness that is directly perceived, then you can say it's a valid direct perceiver. Because in this system, for valid cognition, it doesn't have to be new.
Okay.
So it's the second moment, of that yogic direct perceiver is also a valid direct perceiver.
Okay, that is your one. Okay. Any?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
Question.
I guess I was misunderstanding to think that directly perceivable referred to the object and direct perceiver refers to the subject. But I mean, I understand that, and I what you're saying, but I think that was what was.
무슨 테마인데 뭐라는 것도 유저 유저가 여기서 삼성사. 무슨 세는 무슨 나와도 유저.
그거마다 무슨 뭔지 대체 뭐처럼 범바도 무슨 자들. 범바. 안 돼서 무슨 자들다. 가장 뭔지 무슨 뭔지 대체로 와. 무슨 세대 소소 지원이 토마토가 따로 때문에 무슨 세.
Yeah, so it is referring to the object. This is referring to the object. So object that can be perceived directly, without depending on the reasoning or sign, so that is called the directly perceivable. Of course, it is referring to that, and it is that this like this is directly perceivable, and this is manifest object, manifest phenomenon like that.
제가 밥에지 돈이도 왜 나중에 기진이 받는 나중에는 공지는 것도 또 말아. 이런 것도 참아이죠. 무슨 말이?
And so the yogi direct perceiver, yogi direct perception within the continuum of Arya Bodhisattva, is a valid direct perceiver, but it's not directly perceivable because it's not a manifest object, and because it is not perceivable by ordinary beings, how depending on science and reason.
Are you guys okay? Everyone okay? Okay, not okay. That is human. That Jebalas, Temalang gets the Major Perpetually, Jebala, without Jeba, Toby, Jeba. Just Toby Jebana, Penny Jebani, without Jebana, and do you say to her?
Then comes the inferential, valid inferential cognizer. There are 4 different kinds of inferential cognizers. Inferential cognizer by the power of the fact, inferential cognizer through renown, inferential cognizer through an example, and inferential cognizer through belief. This is inferential cognizer through renown and inferential cognizer that realizes the meaning through an example are included in inferential cognizer by the power of the fact.
That's Matati Shiva mentioned Mutajabalagres. That's Matabari.
So like I said, the sound is impermanent because it's a product. So that kind of reasoning, that kind of inferential cognizer, is an inferential cognizer by the power of the fact.
Nibo in the Toshu Telatini and the Datamoto.
Well,
Shiva in the Dutch Motoshiba. Shiva in the Toshu, I think should take Nibal and the Damato.
So because that is proven by the fact that the sound is a product, right? So you know that sound is a product, and by that fact, then you are able to prove that it is impermanent.
There are Dutch Matati Shiva, Pena, Pombajana, page and pay Telatene Dramatabatogana, the penijit, a posse.
And then so he says sound is impermanent because it's a product. For example, a vase. If you say that, then that's by that example, then again you come to realize that the sound is impermanent because it's a product, just like the vase, And that's the inferential cognizer through an example.
That room like a Rujla Dawashi Yachor, Pena Toby and yours, and it that Tobiche pass. That Patas Mokaji.
And so then there's this
that toss so much.
sorry,
Rumulaya, Dawashi Lapchores. Dawala Rumuchi, and the Dawala Rumuchi Lapchor Kana, Obena Yoris, Tona Yoris. And at the tar, Lapchor Tares.
What is that about the moon and the rabbit?
You heard that?
Is that by the power of renown?
Yeah, right now. Yeah. So have you heard? What is that? Well, how do you give example, of a moon as a rabbit? The moon is called a rabbit.
Rabbit bearer.
Rabbit bearer.
Yeah, rabbit bearer, yeah.
The moon is known by the rabbit bearer, because it is renowned, to the world. That's because and it's renowned is well known by so many people. So that's why you call a rabbit bearer, to moon.
Ichi Jebalana, and it Jewas in Jetabe. Jimat one of the Lotion Jomates. And then Malava in the Caro. Jimelo should teach the Shituji Lunde. Rankatij the Malo and the Chivas with Tabeluim, that is Chirangi.
And so then, the quotation which says that, from the generosity comes wealth, and from the moral discipline comes the happiness or comfort. And so that, is what you call the inferential cognizer through belief. So belief. And so because it's said like that, so that's your belief, but there's no reason you can prove. But it's because it is,
지워서 다 되로서.
because it is proven or pure by the three analysis.
문제 때문에 잘라 문제 때문에 나와면 봐지.
So those which are obvious or manifest phenomena, obvious phenomena, or obvious or manifest phenomena that is not contradicted by direct value cognizers.
근데 세례라나 저도 같이 가라고. 이 갑자기 색 갑을라나.
If I say this is a gold, and if I raise my cup and say this is a gold, what is it?
It's not true, right?
Harmed by a valid cognizer.
어쨌든데 더 문제 때문에.
So it is obvious, right? It is obvious object. You can see it, and but you can see and you can tell that this is not a gold. So to believe that it's a gold, is mistaken.
주제 문제 때문에 집어치면 나와면 봐지.
And then those that are slightly hidden, which we can't see directly with our senses, so that is not harmed by the inferential cognizer.
근데 다들 못하고 말해와 시화를 원합잖아. 지나마다 왜 저와 또 빛이 버티게 놓으려 봐.
And so, if you say, oh, the sound is not impermanent because it's a product, then that if it is a product, it has to be impermanent. It's being harmed, by that concept.
지마 동안에 로신 좋아요 말하는 다들 이 지하랑을 다는. 지마는 로신 좋아요 말하는 다 이. 무슨 통고에 말다들 이 지르고 놓으면 봐지.
그래, 신도 고교들.
신도 고리다.
신도 고교라 그러죠.
신도 고리다. 지마 동안 로신 좋아 말해서나.
무슨 고교라 제바스베.
요새 제바 신도 고리를 이 지르고 놓으면 봐지. 신도 고리.
신도 고교라 가른다고.
이 집을 놓고 내가 이치.
And then the extremely hidden, like that saying, that if you practice generosity, then you will be wealthy. If you practice more discipline, you will have happiness. And that one is like extremely, the hidden. So you just have to believe that with the quotations or from the scriptural source.
아데 포르체만 배나 사상치 미상치라 보고 쓰면은 보존 집바 지장때 집바지냐 소나 야적을 수수 람론도 당당 간지걸 가차노도 어때 간지 수수 있게왕 말하래 되어서 이치들 못되는 데로 걸어.
And so of course you don't just believe it, but you see the example. Like for example, the three children born to the same parents and raised in the same way, but then they become different person or they achieve different successes, different level of success in their life. So that shows what kind of cause they might have created in their past lives.
어제 다 되시는데 다 뭐냐 되게 뭐지 다 세만한 거 셰라 만트에 맞다 드라마도 되지 봐 드라마도란 뜻이 드라마 따발은 뜻이 임베셔스.
It says if it is a value cognizer, it is not provided by being non-mistaken with respect to determined object, because an inferential cognizer realizing sound as impermanent is a mistaken consciousness with respect to sound as impermanent.
제대로 따다려 드라마 세만한 거 드라마도 되지 집보다 드라마도 원래 뜻이래.
So the inferential cognizer that recognizes the sound as impermanent is a mistaken consciousness. It's a mistaken to the sound being impermanent.
미시도 본말을 뜻이래.
It's determined object impermanent sound, right?
드라마도 집보다 드라마도 원래 뜻이 임베셔스.
So 다음에 또 이제 받으러.
This
is object because the object because this is determined object. Other.
세마에나란 게 셰라. 셰라 만트에 맞아대. 드라마타바데 드라마타바란 뜻이 임베셔스.
It says in respect to it is a determined object, but then it says the inferential cognizer realizing sound as impermanent is mistaken consciousness with respect to sound as impermanent. So the sound as impermanent is mistaken. It's not correct. It's not true that sound is impermanent.
Yes, Bill. Yes, no, okay?
Yes, no. Which one do you want, Geshe? Any object that is perceived other than an emptiness is an incorrect perception. Any object, that's the reason in the previous example, distinguishing conventionalities, any kind of valid cognizers are not ultimately cognizing anything at all, because they are not cognizing an emptiness. The only correct perception is a direct perception of emptiness. All other perceptions are not correct. That's what I think.
So what about the valid cognizer cognizing sound as impermanent within the continuum of Arya Bodhisattva? Is that mistaken?
The Arya Bodhisattva cognizing anything, the yogic direct perceiver, Arya Bodhisattva, yogic direct perceiver, cognizing anything will only see the emptiness of the object, nothing else.
나중 왔습니다. 그런 교육 나중 왔는데 돈이 맞아 저게 또 그런 말이었어.
이게 좋지매. 이 맞다고 또 시바듯이 녹시레베스. 드시레라. 드시임바다.
So like the mind in the continuum of Arya Bodhisattva, right? There's a mind that cognizes the sound as impermanent, right? Is that cognition mistaken?
Insofar as you say that there is a sound, that there is a process of dependent origination, it's not ultimately valid, because the only ultimate valid cognition is the cognition of an emptiness. And consciousnesses are not, a Buddha is a valid cognizer being, not a consciousness, a valid cognizer being. This from the what's it called? Pranavatika, from the Dalai Lama's teaching.
When we there are only four answers there. Yes, no, there's no discussion.
Oh.
It's just
No, yes, no, yes.
Good. Yeah, Deborah, what do you have?
I have a question. Is mistaken different from not valid? Mistaken and not valid are different? Something can be mistaken but still be valid in this system?
If go to a little down, then go to the other door. Shibana Rangaja Tobe chapter room, Ranzo Tobe room, Ranzo Tobe room, retention the room of the Jajata. Dam, that Tabi Tejatat on the Jajai Bishop Telkarkonjo.
그래서 나 몰라서는 더 테마스야 나 내가 더 투시스야 돼. 니자 용수기를 해서 그러다. Yeah, so in this system, according to the Prasangika Madhyamika system, a valid cognizer can be mistaken.
Can be mistaken, not mistaken. Valid cognizer can be mistaken.
Yes,
I
can be
don't know if
mistaken.
it's the conceptual set between mistaken and valid cognizer, right?
So that explains the question that you're
Right, that's a
asking.
common logos, yes. There's a common logos of the valid cognizer and the mistaken consciousness. The tema no tuition.
Because yes.
말은 뭐가 말다 다데 가서 materials. 시대였어. So valid cognizer and mistaken consciousness, how many possibilities are there?
Yeah, fast. Riga.
4. No, 3.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, you're 3.
3,
How about Riga? 4.
4.
Deborah?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Hey. You have to put 2 finger, 3 finger, 4 finger. Margaret?
Oh, there's 4.
There can be only 4 or 3.
Andrew? Okay, Bob?
3.
Okay. It was a, okay, one not possible.
It either has to be 4 or 3.
Yeah. Okay, who's a 3? Okay, how about you? Okay, you 4. 문제 English 하셨어요.
So what is the possibility of both
세모도 진이가 있게 된다.
both in a valid cognizer and the mistaken consciousness?
Was, there's 2 each, right?
You
And
have to get 4, yeah.
it could be valid.
Yeah, both.
Valid could be mistaken, right? Or it could be,
Give me the example, not write down, okay? You give me example, you have to write down. I'm not asking write down. Okay, gentlemen.
Something
Okay.
that's both,
Yes.
Yeah, something to keep both.
a sense direct perceiver in the continuum of an ordinary being.
That's it.
Ninja
인자이기대.
나가서 소통한 유기 무슨 나가서 언봉무슨
인자 됐어. 세모는 진이가 됐어. Okay, 다 세모는 뒤집어만 가려.
Sentient being.
Okay, that's good. Everyone got it? You guys same direction?
Can you say that again? Can Jennifer say that again?
It would be a sense direct perceiver in the continuum of a sentient being.
Is what?
Is both a valid cognizer and mistaken.
Okay. 다 세모는 뒤집어만 가려.
What about the one that is valid cognizer but not mistaken?
The
Okay, this is Bob could be
Valid cognizer and.
Not mistaken. You think it?
I'll try to
Okay,
do an
okay.
example.
Okay, that we got.
Wisdom directly realizing emptiness.
Shut up. So that's a valid cognizer.
Yogic.
Okay. Okay, that is semo는. 수시에는 세모 많이 요즘에.
What would be the example of something that is mistaken but not a valid cognizer?
무시하다.
that's both, I mean.
Something is mistaken and not valid.
Yes.
That could be a sense direct perception with a faulty organ, with a faulty sense organ.
수시에는 세모는. Okay. rumorado 또 같이 따따따레면. 한자망이 해도 인자망이. 무슨 맞아서.
That's the third one, right? Third one. What is the fourth one?
No, for 어디야? 민자망이 누가? 그냥 닌자 말아.
And what is the fourth one? I get confused.
그리고 열어. 인자망이 열어.
뭐 찍을래 잘라.
Oh, I
Okay. How about Bill? Do you have Deborah, Margaret, maybe Linda, maybe Andrew? Okay, I
say something that is.
said something either.
neither.
That's neither.
There's neither, but it has to be a consciousness.
No,
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 okay, well,
not
you could say any object, and you could say,
any of the
Anything that is neither.
yeah.
Example of something that is neither mistaken consciousness nor valid direct perceiver.
미시자서.
Yeah. So anything, right? Anything. This book.
You got the three possible, right?
This book.
Okay.
Yes, so 4 possibilities.
You got the
Yeah,
three
so
possible.
4.
Now I want the debate, okay, debate.
Okay,
대마 영예 그래 록시의 영예지. 두시의 영예 대마만에 자로. 대마 많이 돼. 저 샤이 받아. 샤이 봐. rumorado 또 같이 해지 대마 많이 받아.
So there's something that is a mistaken consciousness but not a valid cognizer, right? You give that example of so it's like the sense consciousness that sees object that is
like to move. or something.
Okay, 주문에 다 롱라도 또 받아 제제. 제로 와서.
Oh, wait.
Or seeing a rabbit's horn, right? A horn on rabbit's head. Seeing a horn on rabbit's head, is that a mistaken or not?
롱라요 말아.
It's mistaken, but I don't know if I agree with the fourth.
Yeah, is it?
Possible to see, it's not possible to see one on.
No, 데라도. 시바나 랑게 자자 또베 찹데 롱라도 또베 랑게 또 없을란도. 제가 롱라도 또 받아 제제 정말 많이 받아.
If it is consciousness, if it is consciousness, it is pervaded by realizing its object of comprehension.
Right.
Because the mental image of rabbit's horn is the object of comprehension of a conception, apprehending the horn of rabbit. And the mental image, of the sound as impermanent, as prominent, is the object of comprehension of a conscious and of conception, apprehending sound as prominent.
이제 녹시로와.
They both are mistaken.
Yes, no.
With respect to their appearing object, but they're sitting here, but not
This is-
with respect to its object of comprehension.
네 자잘라도. No, 이라면도 네 자잘.
No, it says object of comprehension. That's what it says.
Right, it's saying that it is pervaded by realizing its objects of comprehension, but it's mistaken. Still, it's a mistaken consciousness because it's with respect to its appearing object.
No, it
It's
doesn't say
that
anything about
protection.
appearing object. Does it?
No, but it's still a mistaken consciousness because the object of comprehension is just like the mental
No,
image.
yeah, the 자자 이제 나이 줄라면도야. First of all, 시바 있나 랑게
Also
자자 또
comprehension.
잡대.
Is it?
제가 하나
mutually-
로라도 또 자자 요하다.
Is there an object of comprehension of a rabbit's head? I mean, a rabbit's horn?
Yes.
There can be, right?
예, 나 랑게 셰라 가로랑 랑게 힐라 테마이 받아.
Is it valid to its object?
How about Bill? Yes, no.
Yeah.
It's a non-existent.
But the question is it mistaken? Not, is it valid, right? So it could be valid, but still mistaken.
뭐? 록신
But you said.
쟤는 다 단지비를 시바 있는 테마이 미쳐다.
Valid. It's-
단지비를 시바 있는 테마이 미쳐다.
So according to the person giving Madhumika, if it is consciousness, is it necessary to be a valid cognizer?
그러니까,
Consciousness, is it necessary to be a valid cognizer?
okay, give me example. 없어, no. Give me example.
And just this what we're talking about, the rabbit's horns was.
No mistake. 얘는 테마만 일로 매하다. 테마다 재미질로 님에 왔다.
So there's no invalid cognizer. There's no invalid cognizer. Is there a non-valid cognizer?
Give me example. Give me example.
The thought that there's rabbit's horns.
But the reward today.
그것도 롱라도 자자 맞도하다. 랑게 자자 또 테마이 거라.
What about a non-attentive?
So it comprehends the object of comprehension, right? It's object of comprehension. So if it comprehends the object of its comprehension, then it has to be a valid cognizer.
But it has to comprehend it properly.
Is it mistaken always? with
아,
respect to the
it's okay. It's very complicated. 내 고려하고 싶은 말. 나달 간지. 내가 제대로 봐야 돼. 나는 나의 도착해. 내 자도 저는 나의 잡고. 나위라.
아니 나일라?
나는 나의 도착해. 나는 나의 도착해.
예, 맞아.
나의 참 내 시에고 말 시행문에 고로. 이게 자야서야 돼. 아니 나의 잡고.
Okay. Yeah. So what Jennifer said is correct. About the appearing object.
이 한번
It
잡고.
has to be appearing object. And the object of comprehension has to be appearing object.
어디 다른 나 장에 몇 심비셨어.
하나 나일이 가만히 있어.
나는 정말 나는 똑스.
또.
하루에 대신 이제 요리 삼치 또 이제 또 라고 그러지. 동라 요 말어.
So like you have the image, of a bat and of a rabbit's horn, right? The horn on rabbit's head. You have an image. You can have image. You can recognize that image, right? So therefore, you say it is valid cognizer. That's what is appearing to you.
What about a doubting consciousness? Could that be mistaken and not valid? An example of something that's mistaken and not valid?
얘나 그
대성대.
대성대가 그 강나 되고 또 되거든. 또 나오다.
But whatever appears to the doubt, it does cognize that.
Yeah, so that's the same. That's why it's saying here that if it's a consciousness, it's pervaded by realizing its object of comprehension.
Yeah.
I'm more confused than ever. So if I imagine 50 pounds of gold here, so I have it right here, 50 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a valid cognition?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
But it's mistaken.
All right, I see that. All right. Because I was gonna go spend it, but.
No,
But it's mistaken. You can, but it's still valid though.
Okay. I'll tell that when it's a time for.
난다 전에 나 파래 나그 건배는 세트리 나 송선 대또 그랬어.
Because it appears to you, right? You have imagined it here, and it appears to you, and then later when you go back to your home, and you say, "Oh, I had that appearance, of a big lump sum of gold on my table there." You can have that.
Well, nightmare is a
Yeah.
valid cognition.
야, 일단 자고 강가 자고 저라도 강가 차도.
As long as it is, appearing object of comprehension.
What about an
You
awareness?
comprehend it, right? So that.
What about an awareness which an object appears but is not ascertained? Because what is the object that appears? The consciousness there. It's not ascertained.
No.
나는 많이 와.
Geshe?
나는 많이 와. 나는 많이 와다까지. 나는 그 나와도 해야 되기도. 그 나와야 되지. 그
No, 이게 뭐야?
나와지. 얘도 내고 얘도 가리만 내고 말이야. 그 나와도 그 해야 되는데 정말 잘 오다. 아니 정말 잘.
So what appears, it ascertains what appears,
그 나와 그
but it doesn't apprehend it doesn't comprehend the object, but it comprehends what it appears.
Object which is an inattentive object.
Yes.
So they you're
It
saying
appears, right? It appears.
So
So whatever is appeared, that's comprehended. But the object itself is not comprehended. It's not ascertained.
it's still then, if it's a consciousness, it's pervaded by realizing. its
Yeah.
object.
So it's a consciousness, right? So you can try to debate in different ways, but at the end, it's a consciousness.
오케이. 다 내일로 가지 다 다줄라 간나 아니 시바이나 드시에 잡. dem시 시바는 드시에 잡 스테이지라고 그랬어.
And so according to this possible mathematical system, if it is consciousness of sentient being, then it's necessarily mistaken.
네, 드시에 다 세매진데 요.
And so there is a common locus, of mistaken consciousness and the valid cognizer.
아니 시바나랑 나의 또 잡.
And if it is consciousness, it is necessary to comprehend its appearing object.
아니 그런 나의 요배 잡.
And if it is an appearing object of the consciousness, then it is necessary to exist.
나야. 나의 이유 먹고서요. 나의 이제 이 마이스. 나의 요배 맞잡스.
Now in the yoga,
나의 요거다. 대 요르는 요거 말이야.
so if it is appearing object, it has to exist in the appearance.
You mean the object of comprehension, not
The object of comprehension. Then the shenudra,
예, 쉬어야지. 예,
shajayude.
이제 예스다. 너 되지. 네 요리 좀 되지.
No, yogos. Yoga mugomas.
먹었어.
It doesn't have to exist, but it has to exist, to the appearing object.
아니 대신 되고 대신 되도 그랬어.
because that has to appear, right, to you. So even though it doesn't exist, even though pile of God doesn't exist here, but your imagination of the pile of God has to appear to you. So that appearance has to exist, but it doesn't have to exist.
Okay. Okay, this is enough. That tuba dami doesn't know.
Okay, and we move on now to the next category.
So I have a question, Geshe.
Yeah.
Sorry. So this discussion about the consciousness that is appearing object in the comprehension, which is conception, is this unique to Prasangika system only?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, that road to the Loshir was. I mean, but Raja Majo, road to Bashi, Loshi like this.
So like, the schools below the Pasangika Madhyamika, the lower schools, they all say that, the comprehending or apprehending the horn and rabbit's head, is a mistaken consciousness. And cannot be valid cognizer.
Okay, that tuba dami doesn't know. Kanda Raja to be taken to be Toma Konsa Dame, Rabada, Konsa Dembe to Makona Dame Tramandos. Kanja Raja Machu to a Konsa Dame Tramote indica Kanda Damara Pashare.
Okay, so now the mode of observing selflessness. This is there observe a gross selflessness of person, that is a person's emptiness of being self-supporting or substantially existent, and a subtle selflessness of person, that is a person's emptiness of true existence. And so whatever the lower schools are saying, the subtle selflessness of person is what it is saying, a gross selflessness of person here.
The Chames of Rabada, Tenzime Samadeji to Mochidame Rabada, Ajubunga Dime to Mochidame Tamanjos.
And then they posit a gross selflessness of phenomenon, that is the emptiness of gross object composed of partless particles, and the valid cognizer apprehending it being of other substances, and a subtle selflessness of phenomena, that is the emptiness of true existence of the aggregates, the basis of imputation.
And so that might take another term, and the Chames of Rabas the Omar, the Lucan Mare. In the Chachim.
So it says the partless particle, right? So the gross object composed of partless particles. And so there's no such partless particles, because it has, if it is a particle, it has to have a part.
And so say Janadan that is watch.
So of course, we can debate, on that also, but I need to go on that. So this is again very strict view, of the Pasangika Madhyamika school.
And Damini Pojiguni show me the Gaja Gunesh Marish Karina Gaja Dematokapachipare.
And then the two selflessness are differentiated according to their basis of emptiness, and not according to their object of negation, because the refutation of the object of negation, true existence upon the basis person, is a subtle selflessness of a person.
The Gaja Dematokapa machine, a Toji when the Kachas Marezo.
And so what they're negating, is the true existence, but the basis on which they're negating is the same. I mean, it's a different story.
Then
the two self-graspings are differentiated according to their referent object, and not according to their manner of grasping. And so if you grasp as the person as being truly existent, then that is the self-grasping of a person. If you think of the phenomena or aggregate and as existing truly, that's will be the grasping of the phenomena, grasping as the true existence or self-grasping of the phenomena.
Then the Tanjul Tomo mind by Shila Yang. Chuji dance the Yankaji, I mean, the matter of the dance at the Yang, Yetavila, the whole level. That it's all as that Lamochi. guru katman la ya das tan le ba tan se oba chena na shu che ne papa wan tong tang ro ni shu mo ji tan de umar ajibel lo gi jata na ni ko karo mada vichi wano kare chana to chita shose ji was umar ajibel lo ga me ni gi jata da dilo mada vichi wa kare wa.
And so now, for the homework, you can see the difference between the Prasangika Madhyamika and Savatantika Madhyamika, especially in this mode of asserting the selflessness. About the mode of asserting the selflessness. What is the difference between Prasangika Madhyamika and Savatantika Madhyamika school?
Dhamma salamina ja chipala panja dan salamina ja chipani thongbo danza thara savanda chipa tiamko chibi acha so savanda chiba ngetab dans so thawat war pat chibi taban jos.
And then the next category, the presentation of the grounds and paths. This has two divisions: object of abandonment and the actual presentation of grounds and paths. So first, the object of abandonment, gross and subtle self-grasping together with their seed, as well as attachment, and so forth, the delusions, right? Together with the seeds that arise due to the power of self-grasping are deluded obstacles that mainly obstruct the attainment of liberation.
And he karkuna Kansak dance down, the matter with the Dentinka, Kanje.
So grasping at the self of person and also grasping at the true existence, they both are considered as deluded obstacles that mainly obstruct the attainment of liberation. They both obstruct, the attainment of liberation. And so anything that's everything that is truly existent, grasping at the true existence, grasping at the self existent, they both are deluded obstacles, right? Deluded obstacles. And what is the obstacle to knowledge and obstruction to knowledge? Is that which obstruct one from attaining the enlightenment, instead of full enlightenment. And so here it's saying the propensities of the grasping at the true existence and all the parts now of the mistaken dualistic appearance that arise due to the power of these propensities are obstacle to omniscience and obstacle that mainly obstruct the attainment of an exalted knower of all.
And then Nilula Tomoda and Shidab the Shibation the Yo the Meta Shetamana Mamor Kashi Yola Kashi Melagri.
And so then according to this view, again, there is discussion about the mind, the consciousness, and the obstruction. This is the obstruction to knowledge, or obstacle to knowledge, obstacle to omniscience. That obstacle to omniscience, or obstacle to obstruction to knowledge, or obstacle to omniscience. So those two, obstacle to omniscience and the consciousness, is there any common locus of those two or not?
Panji tola Chawai, the Nintu Raja, the Panji tola Chawai, Yaranamji Kazak dance, Savanda Chepa. Savanda Chepa Panji tola shares. I just somebody the Pacha Panji tola shares, Pacha the ship chatting. Yaranamji. Into the Raja Namji, Savana Chapa Pajito Shagres. Chancha somebody the Pacha Pajito Shagres.
Okay, so again, I'll wanted the rough. The quantity of the line, the Lava.
Alele, there was a Kaza, Gomji Tawana Tomichi Chaw Mess. Yet in the Kazaga Dameda, Chujidame Tamo, Gomji Toshipan Tomishes. A tangible and there was some G. About not pointing to which our can race. Only to which our calendar and the Kaza Damage the American Gomji Toshi, which our Morris.
So in the presentation of grounds and paths, there's no difference in terms of superiority among the views that are the objects of meditation or person of the three vehicles, because all three are alike in taking as their main objects of meditation subtle subtlessness of person and subtle subtlessness of phenomena. So that's both, for all three vehicles. It's the same. And so, and according to the person, therefore, according to the person, if it is the Arya being, it doesn't matter whether it's the Arya being of the hearers part or so the dwelling part or the minor part, it's necessary to have realized emptiness. So the going below the so below the lower schools, like below Pasangyama school, doesn't say that if you are a being, you have to realize emptiness. You can realize the substance of the person for the lower schools. So there is no difference in terms of the object of meditation. So they all meditate in the same, like emptiness, right? But there is a difference, and there's no difference in the object of meditation, but there is a difference in the object of abandonment. And it says the hearers and so to others take as their main object of abandonment the two self-graspings together with their seeds. So the there's the two abandonments, right? So abandonment, the two self-graspings, the self-grasping of a person and self-grasping of phenomena, together with their seeds. And the bodhisattva, that's what the hearers and sort others, and the bodhisattvas take as their main object of abandonment the propensities of these two self-graspings. So the hearers and sort the arhats have abandoned the two self-graspings, but the propensities of that are still remaining. And that propensity, will be the obstruction to knowledge or obstruction to omniscience. Then it says nirvana without remainder is suchness distinguished by the abandonment of the two self-graspings and their seeds in the continuum of hearer and so to realize those four destroyers. So in meditative incorporation, right? And nirvana with remainder, and so that's with nirvana without remainder, and then with nirvana with remainder is the same kind of suchness in the continuum of hearers and soul realizers for destroy in the post-meditative path. Then in the lower school, there's one of the schools. They says during the without the remainder, it'll be like gone, right? There'll be no more. So whichever school is that, you can go back and check on that. That's going to be another homework.
Can you explain, please, what is mistaken dualistic appearance? Because they did that. Because was it?
So, like the Bodhisattva, I mean, the Bodhisattva who have already abandoned so who have already abandoned both self-grasping, but even though they have abandoned it, but they still have this appearance of the self-grasping. That is because of their propensities of the self-grasping. That's because even though he has abandoned the self, the grasping of the true existence, but because of the propensities, it still has that from grasping at the things that are existing truly in the previous time. Like the propensity will be like like a smell of the thing. Even the thing is removed, you can still smell the smell of it. The seed, will be something that can make it grow later. So if you have not abandoned the seed, if you still have the seed, then it can come back. It can grow back again. Then it says the holders of the Mahayana lineage, who are definite in the lineage from the very first, abandon deluded obstacles and attain the 8th ground simultaneously. And they abandon obstacle to omniscience and attain the 4 bodies simultaneously. That's it. You're done. And so, but if it's not definite in the lineage, and so, if it is not definite to the lineage, meaning a bodhisattva who have gone through the heroes of Sotaruda's path, and then later enter into they have become heroes of Sotaruda's arhat, and then later enter into the Mahayana path, and then but they will have abandoned it. They don't have to wait until the 8th ground. They will have abandoned it already on the 1st ground.
Okay. Next
week, we're going to do a little bit more discussion on this, and then that's it. Then we're done.
It's the last class.
Yeah. Yeah. What's homework? That's the homework. 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
It was the definition of a valid direct perceiver, according to Prasangika, and how that relates to the second moment of an inferential cognizer realizing sound is impermanent.
You went over it.
Huh?
We went over it. We explained about sound is impermanent, right? We spent 15 to 20 minutes.
I did Chanto chatting, the old telling me that the Najuma Chanto Nichita show. I think on the Chio. Actually, Lame and the Mevan Dumleti Tap Kansa or Juchen to the Kansa Suries. Nakazakazi.
Phrase it the way that you had it.
Forgot?
Any different than-
I don't think I have it phrased.
Okay, it's the
Yeah.
same for that.
Basically, the question, how is the second moment of a conceptual cognizer realizing sound is impermanent a valid direct either?
Am I the correct?
Jabakeznyibadi. Dame da tobe jabakeznyibadi. 내 제마이다 만들었어.
What's answer? Who has answer? Anyone have the answer? Yes, yeah, Deborah? You mute?
So, what was the question was the second moment of an inferential cognizer fit the definition of a conceptual valid direct perceiver? And I said, yes. That's because with the Prasangika, they say direct valid cognitions can be subsequent moments because they don't rely on a reason to cognize the object. So the second moment isn't inferential anymore, but it's direct. That's from Jeffrey Hopkins and Geshe Sopa's book.
What's that?
또
제가 기침인데
다른 공적에다 가서 단주박이 기진이바는 가서 제시는 제마 많이 거 말했어. 안 되져서 내가 다음에도 또 제가 기진이바디 참 말했어.
I think that was it. The question was, can you define a direct perceiver in the Prasangika, and then how is it that that the second moment of an inferential cognizer realizing sound is impermanent is a direct perceiver?
So in the text, there's no definite definition. He just sort of says it has these traits, but it doesn't define it explicitly.
I think you could come to a definition.
말도 전혀 모습 믿을 수가 없다. 전혀 못 샤.
I can get it from other texts, but it wasn't in our root text.
No, you could do so.
제가 다 단지를 시바나 저만 적으려서나.
That's what you're supposed to find out. What is the definition of the valid cognizer according to Prasangika Madhyamika? It's not in the text here. And so
Right.
you have to find from the different source.
Okay, so what I had, it's a valid cognizer that is not generated directly independent on a sign. And it's a knower that's infallible with respect to the object of its mode of apprehension.
No, they don't get.
Yeah,
They didn't get you.
I heard it.
What was that?
Deborah, you want to say again for people?
To repeat, want me to repeat it?
Yes,
Okay.
slowly and clearly.
And this is the definition of a valid cognizer.
So a valid direct cognizer is a knower that is infallible with respect to its object of the mode of apprehension.
More of apprehension.
Yes.
And the corner the 진단라 뭐 가서 뭔가 배워서 그러죠.
독일은 많죠. 이때가 어디?
제비가 그때 계시 써보게 돼. 먹었어.
다들 잠부터 제보도 제만 로라도 또 제제. 세마이마다.
But what about consciousness cognizing the rabbit's horn? Is that valid cognizer?
Yes, according to that definition.
시바나 저만 미쳐다.
So according to that, then if it's a consciousness, is it necessary to be a valid cognizer?
If it's infallible with respect to its object of the mode of apprehension.
If it is a consciousness, is it necessary to be a valid cognizer? No, it's not in the definition, but just Geshe-la's asking, if it is a consciousness, is it necessary to be a valid
No.
cognizer?
No.
Okay, give me example.
We're looking at seeing a mirage
Uh-huh.
and thinking it's a puddle, but it's not a puddle. It's just an image that's made out of air molecules.
미진남 시바는 게 저자마 또 왔다.
So the consciousness that sees the mirage doesn't see the mirage.
It sees a mirage, but it's mistaken with its object of apprehension. It thinks it's water, but it's not water.
Yeah, but it does appear to that consciousness, right?
The appearance is correct, but the apprehension is incorrect.
남겨를 나는 짐바디 럭셔스. 짐바디 세마마레스.
what was the not tomorrow.
나와는 세마레스.
No,
So what appears is correct, right?
Yes,
no one tomorrow.
And the appearance, what appears is valid.
yes.
Jaja tomorrow.
What comprehended is valid.
It's comprehend the same as apprehend. No,
Yeah,
it doesn't
what is
comprehend
comprehended
correctly. It comprehends incorrectly. It thinks it's water, but it's not water, it's just air.
Jaja matowata.
그래서 그래서 그런 또가 말했어. 그래서 또가 말했어.
No road.
그래서 그 나야 돼. 그 팀버나 신호시 내가 팀버나 팀버 참.
시바는 게 자자 또 맞춰다.
So if it is a consciousness, then doesn't it has to cognize its object of comprehension?
We're back to the same question we talked about, valid and mistaken.
Exactly.
Valid is mistaken.
Okay, this is you need to like a very small.
So you have to know the difference and that's the subtle difference between there.
Okay.
Doesn't part of the definition needs to include incontrovertible, and therefore wouldn't that exclude a doubting consciousness?
No. 밀로와 텔라 고레스 세마가서 세마가 이나와 밀로와실 고레스 밀로와 다디 되는다 그래서 되는다. So that includes or that excludes? Exclude. 그러니까 그래서 더 똑바로 그러다 대좀비 세마에 지겨웠어.
대선에 그런 나와도 또 말해. 나와는 말하고 말해.
Isn't it incontrovertible to the object it appears to it?
The very nature
The
of the
appearing
doubting
object.
consciousness is that it's controvertible.
그러다
you know? I mean,
루라도 또 테마 임바 있나다. 근데 도선도 강한테 테마 잘 오다.
If the consciousness cognizing or imagining or cognizing the rabbit's horn, is the valid cognizer, then why can't the doubt be a valid cognizer?
Okay, so maybe I'm mind thinking, yeah, maybe sound is impermanent. So it's doubt tending toward the fact.
maybe that could sound 자꾸는 나게도 could 나와도 could 달 테마 찾아.
So
맞다
for instance, maybe the sound is impermanent, right?
Right.
So that the sound appears to it, right? Sound appears to it.
Not incontrovertible.
So once the sound appears to it, then it's already a valid cognizer.
Okay, now you guys have to find tangible 테마지 가지고 저서 배제시험들 lok식 다시 어때? 대충 먹어보겠다.
So according to the Passenger Mother Maker School, what is a valid cognizer? So that's what you have to find
근데
out.
시바처럼 테마 잘 오도 어디를?
Because according to what we understand so far, is that everything that is every consciousness is a valid cognizer.
이제 롱한테 장기 자자 또 오도와. 롱한테 또 받아. 장기 자자 또 오도와.
So because the mental image of the valid of the rabbit's horn, well, cognizes is object of comprehension.
아니 미지 채널로 되가 랑가 가로. 자자 또 고르다.
So then also the same with the consciousness that cognizes or that perceives the mirage, has to cognize its object of comprehension.
But the definition needs to be incontrovertible knower of its main object, of its appearing object then.
No.
So
That's the definition?
I would say that it would have to be, because then that would
Okay, what do you say?
I didn't find the
its main
definition.
object, like it.
Yeah, this is I didn't find it either. I don't remember any. Usually some lot of things the patient 한가로 치료하는 시도 제로 와. 이거 책임 문제돼. 배야되잖아. 거는 강한 시스템 잘 오도.
According to the text here, every consciousness seems to be a valid cognizer.
덴데도 테마래. 다들 빠지 또 말해.
Is it realizes its object of comprehension. So that doesn't necessarily meet the definition of a valid cognizer if you say that a valid cognizer is incontrovertible with respect to its pairing object or its main object.
사람이 또 유조라 그러다 나유라 그러다 유조라 아니야 그래서 미루가 버렸어 라바이나 되네
대나 루라 토베 예테 루 라도 토베 예토데 칼
what would be the apparent object of the consciousness comprehending or apprehending the rabbit's horn? What would be the
appearing object would be a rabbit, but the
Rabbit.
object of comprehension would be the horns of the rabbit.
나유라 되네 리보드스타스 아니 셰일라 셰제 유들라 되네 리보라디샤
나이라 루라 가자 루고 나게 말아 루 라마시
So, in the appearing, it doesn't, to that consciousness, the rabbit's horn doesn't appear.
루에 대시때
But you use the technical differences, but it's, I'm trying to think of the appearing object. It's,
루에 대시다 루라 또 여자 말아
what is the meaning of?
루에 대시때
Nagyu?
Nangyul is an appearing object, yeah.
So that's not the, that can't be, can that
can
be
be.
conceptual? No.
Yeah, it says here, mental image, of the rabbit's horn that is the object of comprehension, or the appearing object, of the conception apprehending the horns of rabbit.
Okay.
It says that it is the object of comprehension.
Okay, everyone try to find the definition there, okay?
The image of rabbit's horn, image of the rabbit's horn, right? So,
And try to find the definition or the, what's that? Yamna logic thing, yamna tema thing, chirana together. Yamna logic thing, yamna tema thing.
excellent.
Tajulala. Yamna tema thing, yamna tema lo thing. Chilana together.
Oh, yeah.
Tema thing, yamna tema lo thing. Chilana together.
If you can find a text that defines or that gives the definition of valid cognizer or invalid cognizer, non-valid cognizer,
That
whichever one.
Is that direct valid cognizer or just valid cognizer?
that's what we call it.
Not direct.
Tema.
Yeah, valid cognizer.
That job is Rika, Devra, Jennifer. Something like that.
That's the job of Rika, Deborah, and Jennifer to find the definition.
From the Prasangika point of view.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe not that.
Rajagula,
Yeah. Okay. Market lega karna. Hame nyande na me mewa chandu killing kala suris. Hame nyande pa.
Mark and Margaret will find out which school is it that says a nirvana without remainder. Nirvana without remainder will be the end of consciousness. So that means that when you achieve nirvana without remainder, then you are gone. You'll be disappear. You'll be non-existent after that. Which school says that? So find that out.
You need to find not just all law school, okay? Hey, don't lazy.
So achieve what? Nirvana without remainder.
Remainder.
Achieves. Yeah. Achieves
So
what?
when you achieve that, when you achieve the nirvana
okay.
without remainder, then that will be the end of your consciousness. You will no longer exist after that.
You know, like
Okay.
So which school says that?
You know, like,
According
Okay.
to here, when you are in the post meditative, you are without remainder. Amen. So when you are in the meditative equipoise, you are without remainder. And when you are out, when you're in the post meditative equipoise, then you are with remainder.
okay. Then Bob, Bill, Linda, and Andrew job is the Chidenda. Oma Rajabada, Oma Tanjulaya, Damini Gaje Gonisha, the Toji Gonisha, the Chawakari.
the
Damage of the Ma.
and so Bob, Bill, and so Andrew,
Linda.
So four of you to find out the difference of the mode of exerting selflessness between Prasangika and Savutandika Madhyamika.
Okay. Then Benju, you want some job? You want some job?
Go on.
You want some homework? That's good. Okay. Okay, then we stop, okay? We not going to the then so tabu shuwe. Kana ngado ngado shiba shede ngado kadina shiba shede ngado te ma shede garo. Elpa dame dampani so pe tabu.
So this is very subtle, very complicated issue or subject. And usually when we talk about consciousness, it's very regular, the common ones, right? But then here, it applies to all these different kind of consciousnesses, and it's a little bit difficult.
Tana Jennifer the Rikani Shigajo. Tangible like Shiba in shit of you to me. Shiba in shit of you to me.
Jennifer and Rika, and so Deborah Kumsumra.
No, they are them like Chimochi. When you're the Shiba in shit of.
Okay, so just Jennifer and Rika.
Tangible.
Deborah, you are spared.
Because you already a lot of job.
So just Jennifer and Rika, extra bonus for 2 years. Is there obstacle to omniscience? That is consciousness.
Shipping should have been.
Is there something that is both obstacle to omniscience and consciousness?
And then the Hindi Karo, Damini Pacha, Pacha, the Inanta Vichashaktua.
So here it is the propensities, of the two graspings, right? And but when you find an obstacle to omniscience, that is consciousness or not.
Okay. Everyone got it? Your job? No, okay. I think now we stop that. Yeah, okay, yeah, we stop that.
Good first?
Yeah.
All right, page 39, Thanksgiving Madla offering. Sajipiki makes up memory of
Shibaji, she did yes, message. Shibaji, she did message.
Snow Mountain and Circle Land Source, very benefit and joy. May Lord Jesus the guests of cleansing the long life to samsara. Save his teachings and transmigratory beings who extensively clarify Sappati, unify sentience, compassion. Who led us in the handlers and gaps, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. You who uphold the severest moral way, your servants of battle bear of all sustaining, preserving, and spreading much and that's started. Must become prayers are in please live long. This virtue may I swiftly, having endured a Buddhist state, place each and every sin. Lord arises and Lord never declines, and he forevermore.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yeshua.
Morning. Have a good day.